So I know you're probably getting asked about this more than anything, but I can't help it because the oneer in this is absolutely incredible. Is there any one particular beat of that whole sequence that you found to be the most challenging?
Do you know what? Probably the hardest bit of it was the very beginning, because you hear action, you know that you've got about 30 minutes with no cuts, and you don't want to drop the ball, because if you do, you have to start again and you let everyone down. But once you're in it, it's like being on a roller coaster. It's just like, because you're free falling, you don't know what's going to happen. Most of the lines were improvised. You know that you kind of have to be in this bit and then go here and then go to the bath and then go to the bedroom. But so it's probably the beginning, because you're just sort of easing in from normal reality to sort of the play of it, I guess. So yeah, I'd say that one, because and then so you can't really think about that anymore. You can't, your nerves just go, because you have to be present, or something might go wrong.
What do you do to recharge in between takes? Because I think I heard somewhere you did it, what, like 6 times? And I mean, I have a hard enough time just watching the scene once.
Mm. Um, well, yeah, because at the end it's really odd, because in a way you're I guess you're unconscious, like your psyche doesn't know the difference between real and not real. So it took me quite a long time. It took me maybe 10 minutes to sort of come out of it. And then everyone will be resetting stuff, and it's a bit like theatre, when you do an afternoon show and then you have an evening show and you have to kind of work out how to reset. So I'm so lucky that I've done a lot of plays, because that really helped me. But the one thing that helped the most is I remember we just had this big speaker and we just blasted music out. It was always really upbeat, like just to change the energy, and just to make us feel like that hadn't happened and we're going back to the beginning. And so we danced around the kitchen, all of us, and it just kind of like, you kind of like shook the energy out. So that was it.
I'm glad to hear you had a little bit of levity in between.
We
What
did, yeah.
about what about an unsung hero of that sequence? Was there someone who, I don't know, had to like hide under the bed the entire time, or someone doing lighting and sound magic to keep equipment out of the shot? Just someone that, a name we don't know that you really think deserves a shout out right now.
Yes, the prosthetics team, who hid in the cupboard of the bedroom, and they would have to, like, when I think the camera leaves the bedroom, and then as the camera was outside the bedroom while Sean was on the phone, the prosthetics team would run out, and they had to put the baby's head coming out, basically. So they had to quickly put that there, so that when the camera came back they would find it. And the other unsung hero is the actual baby, who was waiting around the corner with his parents in the other room, and he'd be brought in and would be suddenly there in the scene. And so he was being super quiet, and we couldn't have done it without them. So they're the unsung heroes for sure.
I still can't get over the whole thing. What do you find more challenging, doing a complicated oneer with all that movement like that, or doing a big emotional beat that's completely static, like the material in the courtroom?
Yeah, definitely the material in the courtroom, because I realized, having done the birth, I realized that it was, like as you said, it was so physical, and it's so that your body just has to do it in a way. Your mind doesn't get in the way. And I think one of the biggest challenges of being an actor is, in the scenes anyway, is trying not to let your mind come in and tell you you're not doing well, or something's just gone wrong, or get in the way, or like be self-conscious and nervous, which is so hard to combat most of the time. And so the courtroom is way harder, way harder.
And to wrap up here, I did want to ask you about filming Mission Impossible, just because everyone's trying to adapt right now. And having had the experience filming during the pandemic, what would you say is something done on that set that made you feel like you could deliver your best possible work while staying safe, that you'd like to see on more sets now in the future?
Yeah, I mean, the protocols, you get pretty used to them quite quickly. Everyone's always 2 meters apart. Everyone's tested 3 or 4 times a week. It's really rigorous. And my sister's also a member of the crew on the film. She's an AD, and she she was on the first film back up, Jurassic World, in July, I think. And so I got to see her do it, and it was such a wonderful moment, because the industry had to shut down and cinemas were closed, and to see the film set getting back up and running and people being able to work was a really, really beautiful thing.